Hey, what's up, guys? Is MetaGamesGX here, and we are going to do a deck profile on my friend Dom's first place branded illusion Chimera deck profile. So he's not here, but he lent me the deck so I could try it out because, you know, as a branded aficionado, I would just want to test out the new branded cards basically because they don't have anything to do with branded, but they synergize really, really well with them. So we're going to go over his deck profile and go over his choices and maybe go over some things I might change, but also I think it's a very solid list that you guys should try out. That he killed it with, that he's killing it with. So let's just get right into it. Alrighty then, let's get into the deck profile. So we're going to start off with the cards. It is a 46 card deck, which is kind of interesting, but I think it'll make sense at the end of it. We will go over the Illusionist ratios right now. So we got 3 Mirror Sword Knight. This guy is basically the tech of the deck. He or the lone fire of the deck. You can tribute him, quick effect, and you can special summon out a card that mentions Chimera Fusion, which all of the monsters mention Chimera Fusion. So you have 3 Codal. Codal is an interesting one. It is, I mean, they all, the interesting part about illusions is that they all cannot be destroyed by battle. So that makes it so that they are excellent, they stick around on the field really excellently, but they gave them all really packed effects. So Codal is just another extender. We'll go over them all, and then we got 2 Baphomet. Now this guy is level 5, 1400, 1800, you might be like, oh, why would I run this card? Well, it's because this card does everything for the deck. It searches out your Chimera Fusion when it's special summoned or normal summoned, worst case. So a lot of the times you're bringing it off of Illusion Knight, and then you have 2 Mythical Claws. So Mythical Claws is your Rhoda of the deck, and they all have graveyard effects. Like Codal is able to negate on a target, and you can also, when Sword Knight activates, you can use a Graveyard Omni Negate on the on a monster effect, which is really good. And then this one, you are able to add one illusion monster when it's sent to the graveyard through a fusion. And this one is able to target one special and special. So these guys are really amazing. So I can see why they go well with the branded cards, honestly. I can see why it really synergizes with the deck. I don't know if these are the best, obviously, because this one is able to discard this card and add one monster that gets Chimera Fusion, so this is how you're able to get your Rhoda or your Illusion Knight. And this one obviously specials out the one that gets Fusion, so I think these ratios are pretty good. I kind of wish they were all dark, so it gave this deck more lure support. It's really interesting because it makes this deck lose to YUGIOH, it makes this deck lose more to Droll than anything, but these cards allow you to play through Ash. Like if you have a basically a Sword Knight plus a Branded Fusion, you have basically guaranteed into a really good board because you're always going to be able to play and do a lot of plays. I think these cards are probably the best way to play branded outside of Gimmick Puppet right now, if I'm being honest, because this board, you're able to play through a lot, however, you do commit a lot of board space, so I think these cards are pretty good so far. I know that they're getting more support, so, and like I said, this one's the best one, so I'd never cut down to 3. I think the 2 and 2 is probably correct. Maybe the Rhoda can go up, but you don't want to brick on them. You have too many normal summons with the Lubers and all already. So those were the Chimera cards. Then we have 1 Cartesia, 3 Albaz. So this kind of hurts me as a Cartesia main. I love running 3 of her, famously. But you do have to run 3 Albaz, obviously. It's a great going second card, and you need it for the Branded Fusion. It's the heart and soul of the deck. It's still a branded deck. Cartesia here, which is something that a lot of people are not doing in this build, actually, currently. I still think it's really good, because you can search off a loss, and it's just a free special summon. It's also nice to end on, just so you have a quick play fusion on your opponent's turn, you know, do Mirror Jade's shenanigans, and you're able to play Gimmick Puppet still this way. That's why I would not cut it in this build whatsoever, and I think that this is why his build excels over others, because it still has the flexibility of using all the broken branded stuff while running the Chimera stuff on top of it. Now, you don't main deck Gimmick Puppet. I would probably main deck Gimmick Puppet if I was running this deck and maybe up in Cartesia to 2, but that's really the only change I have for this deck. It's a very solid deck. So we'll go, this is really standard. I think the Cartesia fits really well. So we're going to go for 2 Aluber, really standard. I think also the fact that You can tell these aren't my Alubers because it's not an ulti, but no hate though. And I think too many normal summons. I might even cut this card to 1 if I'm being honest, because this was my deck, but I think 2 is just fine. I think 3 would be way too much. You have too many normal summons with the illusions, although it's really easy to special summon them, but some hands can be awkward. So this card still is great though. So we're going to go into the other cards. We're going to get into the last 2 of the Fallen of Albaz cards, I guess, Mercurier and Kit. Both of the, you go into Rinbrum a lot in this deck. You'll see in the combo section of this video, which Dom showed, you'll see the end board for this deck is usually the Chimera Fusion plus Rinbrum plus Mirror Jade plus like Red plus Lost plus Mercurier plus maybe 1 more Fusion if you're really lucky on your opponent's turn. Especially is pretty standard. These cards are really good for going into Rinbrum. Obviously, this card is just another extender. It's basically another Aluber. This card's great because you're able to get over the Gimmick Puppet stuff, or the protect your Gimmick Puppet, protect your monsters. It's just incredible off a loss. And then 2 Edgem Chains, the mixed rarity Edgem Chains. Oh geez, I'm gonna have to get fix this for Dom. You run the Edgem package. I think it's very good in this package because it's basically a Guardian Chimera turbo deck. You make Guardian Chimera on crack in this. You run 2 for a reason, because you go through 2 very often. And you also need it because of Unicorn and all that. So polymerization makes Unicorn into basically a towers, and Edgem Chain just allows you to just keep up the fuel. I think this is pretty good in the deck. It's the only bricky part, but outside, this is the best deck that uses Edgem Chain right now with Branded, in my opinion, the best version. Then 1 King Tiger Wangu, the Goo. This guy is amazing actually, because you are able to just this is your Gimmick Puppet, in-house Gimmick Puppet that you're able to get into through your illusion cards, because you're able to special summon a beast monster through a few of your different effects. So he is able to come through the graveyard or various ways, just even normal summon him. So it's an in-house just out to a lot of strategies, because he will just destroy any monster with above 1500 or attack, which is really insane, or 1400 or less. So this card's really good. I don't know if I'd cut it, but I'd probably cut this for a Gimmick Puppet personally, but this is what he was on. It just murders Sprite, all monsters with an attack equal to or 14 or 100 or less are normal or flip summon. So it's pretty good. Like I said, I would probably run Gimmick Puppet, but this is what he was on because you can really get it out easily through the Chimera Fusions. So I can see why. Alright, now we're going to get into the spells. 3 Branded Fusion, really standard. Obviously you would run 3. It's if you resolve this card, you win the game. Fun times for all. 3 Chimera Fusion. So Chimera Fusion's insane because it's a quick play. You're able to add it back to your hand after you use the card, so you're able to set up a Chimera Fusion on your opponent's turn. And also, you're able to make a live Guardian Chimera through this on your opponent's turn, obviously, because it's a spell card like Red. And because of the recursion and the fact that you're able to just play through Ash with this card, it's incredible. It's the reason I'd run these cards. Like, obviously, all the illusion cards are really busted and they're packed. I think this card's specifically giving this deck a nice quick play that is a Miracle Fusion on top of other things, because Brand Red, the issue is it's not Miracle Fusion. So like you can take the Albaz out of the graveyard, but this thing actually it's just really good. You're able to combo it really well with Branded Fusion. I don't think this deck's solved by any means because of the new support, and also this card's just so broken that I think there's a lot of testability with a lot of older cards that will break this card, including Shadal, so I'm interested to see where this goes. 1 Branded Lost. This card's still really amazing. I saw some builds not run it. It's just, this is how you set up a board and interrupt a lot, like Unchained and stuff like that, just like various decks where you can just do really nasty interruptions, especially since you're doing so many fusion summons with this deck, with the Chimera Fusion and on your opponent's turn and such, plus polys. Speaking of, got 3 Fright for plus 2 poly. I think this is pretty good ratio, plus the 2 edge in, that you're just able to spam out fusions this way. It works really well because you're able to go into the Chimera fusions as well on top of your branded cards. You usually don't go into your brand cards off the fusion, obviously, but it's really standard, honestly. Rest of the branded spells, 1 branded white, 3 branded opening. I think branded white's really insane. It's actually like your last combo piece. This is how you go into like your Rindrum usually, and you can get the banish obviously too. So it's really good because you're able to get the negate off McCreer, go into Rindrum, or you could just do other things. I would like to see maybe Dragoon into the stock also, and then 3 opening just because they're another Aluber and protection's insane. So Branded White's really insane. This deck, I highly recommend using it or testing it. You're just insane extender and able to play through Ash a lot more because the Illusionist cards all go into the graveyard and they do so in the graveyard. So you're having a lot more graveyard interactivity in this deck rather than just like in pure branded. So I think White really puts in a lot of work in this deck. 1 call by. Because this might be 47 cards, my bad, or 44 cards. 1 call by because you lose to draw and Ash, so this card just wins you the game whenever you draw it. And then the hand traps, 3 Imperm, 3 Ash. They're just the best hand traps, and this deck is so consistent that you can play the hand traps. Like all you need is like an Illusionite plus it into Branded Fusion. You have full combo, so you're able to just run the hand traps, unlike in regular branded, I think, because in my brand deck, I'm just focusing on getting out Gimmick Puppet or just breaking a board, so this deck is a lot more about grinding and interacting and not letting your opponent, meeting your opponent to for tat, and these help do that. And you're drawing into cards, obviously, too, so drawing these are really nice. They're good top decks in that respect. So, just to end on, so they're really good in this deck. Not good top decks. I don't want to get roasted in the comments. You know what I mean. Like in the Heat Soul aspect, where you top deck to end on, and you have these for negations on your opponent. So yeah, that's the main deck. Let's go into extra deck 2. Chimera, the king of the mythical beasts. This card's broken as hell. It's a discard onto your opponent, and you get to special summon beast from your graveyard. When it goes to the you rip a card out of your opponent's hand in the end phase, and then you're able to special summon. Bash this card from your graveyard and target 1 beast, fiend, or illusion monster in your graveyard, special summon it. That's any, so you could like do even Chimera or other cards, so it's just really good. It's 2, I think, is the right ratio. You never go into 3, but 2 is very prevalent. You need 2, I think, with how many you're running, and it's the best new Chimera. There is this guy, though. He's really good for OTKs. He's just there for OTKs. You're able to attack multiple times, so if your opponent sets up a board where you're able to just get, it's really for the cheap wins. This card's really good. But outside that, it's 3,100 too, so that comes up. This guy's only 21, which kind of sucks, but his effects makes up for it. And this is usually the first, obviously, what you go into for Chimera Fusion all the time. This guy's really only going second to break boards in certain respects. 2 Mirror Jade, so now comes the rest of the standard. You still run 2 Mirror Jade. It's still an amazing card. I wouldn't run less than 1. 1 Brigand, this is for kashtira. Plus you can search Mercurier and just to get beasts on board. Lubellion, you'll need 1 Sanctifier because you want Gimmick Lock in the side deck, and also this is just like an FTK against kashtira because it's untargetable. So you're able to just like make this and then make Albaz on anything that they do, and it does a lot more than you'd think. Really hard for them to out. Very good card. I don't know why people run this even without Gimmick Puppet. It's very much worth its slot. 1 Albion, which is kind of insane, but you don't need more because the Chimera Fusion, if you can play smart and recycle with the Lubellion, it's really tight extra deck, so maybe I could see myself cutting maybe like the time card and running 1 more because 2 Albion can come up. 1 Rum. This deck uses Rum the best out of any branded deck. And on this guy, and he's just Omnigate Balance. A lot of people don't even know what he does in the graveyard. He's insane. He allows you to summon or fusion summon off with your Albaz. It's a really good card. 1 Masquerade because people like to play slow. 1 Dracostapelia because you are making fusions all the time. Polymerization. It's just an amazing card. So This card's just like an FTK against certain decks too, so really, really, really good, and it's why I'm jealous of this deck, because I'm not able to run this in my current build. And one Titanic Lad, because this thing is nice against purrely and other decks. It's not really that great, but it's good against certain tower decks. And then one Chimera, which actually there should be two if I had to. Yep, there should be two. Yep, there should be two. So we're gonna pretend there's a second Guardian Chimera right here. Here, you know what, folks? We have the second Guardian Chimera. Screw it, we'll do it live. We have the second Guardian Chimera right here. So, yep, you need two. It's the best card in the deck. Honestly, you make this guy even on your opponent's, or even on your turn. Like, it's so good. Going first. Like, sometimes I can see. Depending on the game. So it's really, really, really good card. Anyways, so yeah, that's the extra deck. Guardian Chimera, Turbo / Baphomet / Mercurier / Mirror Jade, plus loss. Plus hand traps. This deck is really, really good and really strong. I think its only issue is really it loses to interruptions really easily outside of Ash. Like, if you get like double hand trapped, it really hurts. But even then, your hands are pretty loaded. So 3 Book of Moon were in the side deck, so he likes Book of Moon because it's really good against purrely and kashtira, which I would agree with. He's not in Eclipses, but it's still really good. So, and then for the rest of the side deck, there's Harpy's Feather Duster to deal with kashtira or Labyrinth, really, not really kashtira, but this is good against the Birth, because Birth is the best card in that deck. This is for kashtira and Labyrinth, and any back row decks, Evenly is one of the best side deck cards in the game. I will never not take that card below 3 until it goes below 3, and you guys know that about me. 3 Droll, really good against Mana Dome and like other decks, even like purrely going first, and like kashtira, it's really good against. And 3 D-Barrier, it's really good against Branded, it's really good against, which is funny in the mirror match because you're also using fusions, but it's like one of those things you can be careful about. I don't know if he might cut this. This is why I run in my Branded deck too, so. And then 1 Gimmick Puppet and 1 Pankratops. Pankratops is insane right now, especially, and you can special out off of Sanctifier and just keep looping it with Gimmick Puppet, so it's really good. And Gimmick Puppet, so we love Gimmick Puppet. You're able to FTK with this card. I might even main this if this was my deck, and I will definitely have my own version up, but that was the side deck, and that was the deck. I hope you guys enjoyed that. This was first place Branded Illusions Chimera deck profile. We're almost at 1,000 subscribers, so please let me know down in the comments below what you guys thought. What would you guys like to see for a 1,000 subscriber celebration? We're on the way there, and I really have to thank you all for the continued support. This is my most successful run on YouTube so far. I know we're still small, but very humble. I've always wanted to hit 1,000 subscribers since I was a kid, so this is something I'm very happy about, and thank you all for that. So have a great day. Let's get into more Yu-Gi-Oh! And have a good day. Bye now.